For years, Dakota Johnson and Chris Martin had been one of Hollywood's most understated yet admired couples. Their romance, often hidden from the flashing bulbs of paparazzi, symbolized stability in a city built on illusions. Chris, the soulful Coldplay frontman, was considered Dakota's anchor, the man who offered her quiet love in contrast to the chaos of fame. But then came the bombshell. Dakota, the enigmatic daughter of Hollywood royalty, reportedly chose another man. And not just anyone, Sam Heughan, the Scottish heartthrob of Outlander, whose rugged charm and mysterious private life had turned him into an international symbol of fantasy and desire. The drama began with whispers, as it always does. Dakota was spotted speaking warmly with Sam at a charity gala, their laughter caught on camera. Days later, she gave an interview where she cryptically mentioned, "Sometimes, you meet someone who makes you see the world differently." Those words were enough. Blogs erupted, tabloids pounced, and fans filled in the blanks. Suddenly, Dakota Johnson was no longer Chris Martin's quiet partner. She was Sam Heughan's new flame. The narrative practically wrote itself, the rock star replaced by the Highlander. A gentle musician undone by the fiery passion of a Scottish actor. Hollywood had its new love triangle, and it was explosive. Chris Martin's reaction became the emotional centerpiece of the scandal. While touring with Coldplay, fans noticed his voice faltering during the ballad, "The Scientist." Videos quickly surfaced online showing Chris with tears in his eyes, struggling to hold back emotion. To the public, the message was clear. Chris was heartbroken. His quiet, understated love story with Dakota had been ripped apart, not in private, but on the biggest stage possible. Headlines blared, "Chris breaks down after Dakota's betrayal." For fans, it was devastating. Chris Martin, the man whose music had healed millions, was now the one in need of healing. Meanwhile, Dakota's image shifted overnight. Once admired for her mysterious elegance, she was suddenly painted as the femme fatale, the woman who had left a sensitive rock star in tears to pursue a Hollywood fantasy with Sam Heughan. But behind the gossip, friends insisted the truth was more complicated. Dakota had grown frustrated with the long-distance strain of her relationship with Chris. With Sam, she reportedly found laughter, adventure, and a spark that felt new. Whether or not her choice was final, the perception was damning. She had chosen passion over stability, and the world was watching. For Sam Heughan, the scandal was unlike anything he had faced before. Known for his discretion, Sam had spent years avoiding public entanglements. Now, his name was plastered across every headline as the man Dakota chose over Chris. Fans dissected his every move. Was his smile at a red carpet event meant for Dakota? Was his trip to Los Angeles a secret rendezvous? Sam remained silent, but silence only fueled speculation. To many, he was the irresistible outsider, magnetic, mysterious, and the perfect foil to Chris's quiet melancholy. To others, he was a reckless intruder, a man who had shattered a beloved Hollywood couple. The entertainment industry thrives on spectacle, and this scandal delivered. Talk shows buzzed with debate. Was Dakota reckless, or was she simply following her heart? Celebrities chimed in, some offering sympathy to Chris, others praising Dakota's bravery. Social media became a battleground. Coldplay fans posted tearful tributes to Chris, while Outlander fans flooded timelines with edits of Sam and Dakota as Hollywood's hottest new couple. Hashtags like #TeamChris and #TeamSamkota trended globally. Even Katrina Balfe, Sam's longtime co-star, was dragged into the mess. Though happily married, fans speculated wildly about how she must feel watching Sam's name tied to Dakota. The scandal grew into something bigger than three people. It became Hollywood's obsession. By the end of the first week, the narrative was set. Chris Martin, the broken-hearted musician. Dakota Johnson, the daring actress who chose passion over security. Sam Heughan, the rugged outsider who captured her heart. But beneath the surface, questions lingered. Was Dakota's choice real, or just another illusion magnified by tabloids? Could Chris recover from such public heartbreak? And most importantly, what did this mean for Sam, a man unaccustomed to being cast as Hollywood's villain? The world waited for answers. The scandal had reached its fever pitch. By now, Chris Martin's tears were etched into memory. Dakota Johnson was branded Hollywood's new heartbreaker, and Sam Heughan was thrust unwillingly into the glare of controversy. But behind the glossy covers and screaming headlines lay the tearful truth. This was less a love story than a tragedy of perception, pressure, and pain. For Chris, the heartbreak was raw and real. Sources close to him revealed that he had fought tirelessly to keep his relationship with Dakota alive, even through their long periods apart. He believed she was his future, the woman who grounded him after years of turmoil. The revelation that Dakota might have chosen Sam shattered him. His tears on stage weren't a performance, they were a public unraveling. Fans who once looked to his music for healing now saw the man behind the melodies, vulnerable, broken, undone. Dakota's role in the scandal was more complicated than tabloids suggested. Yes, she had spoken fondly of Sam. Yes, she seemed to gravitate toward his energy. But friends insisted she never intended her words as a declaration. Still, the damage was done. The media cast her as the villain. Every move she made, every smile, every silence, was framed as proof of betrayal. She became the tearful starlet, accused of breaking one man while chasing another. Behind closed doors, Dakota was said to be overwhelmed. She admired Sam, yes, but she never wanted to destroy Chris. In truth, she was torn between two worlds, the comfort of stability and the thrill of passion. Sam, meanwhile, remained stoic. When pressed in interviews, he kept his answers diplomatic. Dakota is an amazing actress. Chris is someone I respect immensely. People will always talk. But the headlines didn't care for respect, they cared for drama. Sam became the unwilling third corner of Hollywood's most sensational triangle. Fans scrutinized his friendships, his travels, even his silence, treating everything as evidence. For a man who had built his career on professionalism and discretion, the intrusion was suffocating. Yet he endured it, even as his image shifted from gentleman to alleged heartbreaker. As expected, Katrina Balfe's name surfaced again. Fans of Outlander couldn't resist dragging her into the narrative, speculating how she must feel watching her co-star entangled in scandal. Some even suggested she was hurt by Sam's rumored new romance. In reality, Katrina remained silent, continuing her work and private life undisturbed. But her forced inclusion proved how the scandal had spiraled far beyond the people actually involved. Weeks later, as the frenzy cooled, the truth began to emerge. There was no grand betrayal. Dakota's words had been vague, her admiration for Sam real but not necessarily romantic. Chris's tears reflected years of strain in their relationship, not a single night of betrayal. Sam's role was less that of a lover and more of a victim of circumstance. The tearful truth was this: all three were casualties of Hollywood's ruthless hunger for spectacle. Chris's heartbreak, Dakota's confusion, and Sam's silence had been twisted into a narrative the world couldn't resist. Eventually, the storm passed. Chris returned to music, channeling his pain into haunting new songs. Dakota stepped back from the spotlight, focusing on her career and avoiding the noise. Sam buried himself in work, letting time and silence restore his dignity. But the scars remained. Chris Martin will forever be tied to the image of tears on stage. Dakota Johnson will carry the label of Hollywood's reluctant heartbreaker. And Sam Heughan will remember the moment when, without ever speaking, he became the center of the world's most sensational scandal. In the end, the scandal wasn't about love, it was about perception. About how one phrase, one moment. What matters is the story. And this one, of Dakota Johnson, Chris Martin, and Sam Heughan, will be remembered as one of the most tearful and unforgettable dramas of its time.